Okay, number 47, bless you, on the benchmark. So if you look, I have already highlighted all of the things that are different about each of these. So I would recommend that you take a moment to do the same thing. So when I see a problem that looks like this, and there are this many sentences in my answers, and it's so many words, the very first thing I do before I even read the question is go through and try to figure out how each of my things are different, all my answers. So once I know how they're different, then I can go back and figure out what they're asking me for. So they want to know which statement is true about the problem. A magazine earns $200,000 in advertising revenue. The revenue decreases by 30% each year. So it either cannot be exponential or is best represented exponential. So the first thing you have to figure out is, does this represent an exponential function or not?
Yes.
It is exponential because it's decreasing by a percent.
Wait.
So that means it's not A and it's not B, because those cannot be exponential, and that's wrong. It is best represented by exponential. So is it changing by a constant percent or a non-constant percent? It's constant, right? 30%. It's never not 30%. So your answer is C. Okay, 48. I loved this question for how easy it was and how quick you could answer it. Okay, so here we have this scale. Of these 4 weights, which one could be accurately recorded? It has to be 6. Because these are counting by 2s, so it had to be an even whole number. You guys did really well in that question.
Anyone get it wrong?
I actually can double check to see if anybody got it wrong. Give me one moment to pull that up. I don't have the reports pulled up for today yet.
There's going to be one person.
Okay. So if we look, what is going on here? If we look at all of the teachers in my school, that was question number 48. On question 48, 36 people got it right. 2 people missed. That's not bad. Not bad. Okay, 49. 49 was a very highly missed question. Only 12 people got this question right. So, first thing I'm going to do is go through and see how they're different. So I've got correlation coefficients, and then it's either going to be strong linear or weak linear. Those are my 2 options. But because it says correlation coefficient, that means that I have to put all of this in my calculator. How many of you think you got this question wrong because you forgot how to do correlation coefficient? That's okay.
What was that?
Okay, which one is that? Here we go. Pull out your calculator. Get this out of your way, I'm sorry. Quietly, please. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is go to my table, so stat enter, and clear this out. Now, temperature is going to go into L1. Number of burgers is going to go into L2. Make sure that your 2 columns are the same length, because if they're not, then it's not going to work. Now, does anybody remember what buttons to press to get to linear regression? Stat, Calc, 4. So press Stat, go over to Calc. 4 is linear regression. And you enter through. Okay, which one is the correlation coefficient? It is r, not r squared. So notice that our option was either 0.83 or 0.91. 0.83 is r squared, 0.91 is r. So we want either C or D.
Mine doesn't show R.
Okay. If you don't have r, let me see. Let's see. Press second and 0 to open your catalog. This is what it looks like, right? It's got all these things. You have to go all the way down to D. Diagnostic on is the thing that you want. So you're going to scroll all the way down to D, find where it says diagnostic on, select it and press enter, and then press enter again. Now if you press stat calc 4, it should show you r and r squared. Okay? How do I know that? I'm a math teacher. So we know it can't be A or B because the correlation coefficient's not 0.83, it's 0.91. Now, 0.91 tell me that it's strong or weak? It has to be strong. I will tell you that 15 of you answered option A, so you knew it had to be strong.
Wait, why is
The-
it strong?
It's strong because 0.91 is really close to 1. Okay, do you have any other questions about this? Okay, we'll move on to number 50. 30 people got number 50 right. Okay, so you were given two equations, and they're graphed. And it says, what is or are the solutions to this? All right, and this equation is just where those two equations are equal to each other. So this means where they intersect. Okay? Tell me what you notice about all of your answer choices.
They're all negative.
They are all negative. What else do you notice? They're all x. So that means I care about the x value of this. So what is the x value of this point?
D.
Negative 3. So it's D. X equals negative 3 only.
I got that.
Okay, 51. 33 people got this question right. The difference between the median values. You don't have to do this question. I'm going to do it really quick for you. So if you didn't know what to do, stat, enter, clear out my table. Put in the first one, 4, 6, 8, 2, 1, 9, 5, 5, 3. Zoom, 9. Trace, the median is 5. So I wrote that down. Median equals 5. Now I'm going to go back to my table and put in the second set.
I think it was 5 too. Remembering.
I don't think it is 5. Try 4. The median is 4 for data set Y. Then it said, what is the difference in the median values? It's 1. Easy if you remember how to find the median, because it was a lot of calculator work and we are at the end of the test and that can be the hardest part. Okay. 52, second most missed question. How many people got it correct? 8. 8 people got this right.
Probably guessing.
I don't think it was guessing. Okay. The scatter plot represents the temperature outside, which is our x-axis, and the number of coffees sold throughout the day, which is our y-axis. And it says which statement is true. So the first thing I did is I went through and highlighted the differences. So it either does not show a correlation or it does show a correlation. And then it either does not necessarily imply causation or it does imply causation. Okay, so first up, scatter plot. Does it seem to show a correlation?
Yes.
It does, because there's definitely a trend to this, right? So if it does show a correlation, A and B are out. So I'm going to cross out A and B. We know it can't be A or B because that said does not show. Now we have to tell, does this imply causation or not necessarily? A lot of people said that. So that means that when it is hot, you are not allowed to buy coffee.
Oh.
Is there a maximum limit on how much coffee can be purchased on a hot day?
Yes.
No. Starbucks doesn't just stop selling coffee after 10 drinks have been sold in July. It does not necessarily imply causation. Because you cannot prove that hot weather automatically means that you cannot buy coffee. So the answer was D. I will say that 29 people picked C. So you could definitely tell that there was a correlation. There was just a little bit of confusion over whether or not that implied causation.
I didn't think too hard about that one. I just trust the answer.
That's fair. That's a lot of reading. Okay, last question.
I bet everyone knows.
No, number 53. 24 people got this right. 24 got it right. This is an exponential equation question. Okay? So, which statement is true? So, higher at job 1, higher at job 2. That was both are higher at job 1, both are higher at job 2. One's higher at 1, and the other's higher at 2, or vice versa. So it was just trying to figure out what's happening here. So we've got annual base salary. So what's my base salary at job 1? Okay, so 34,000 is compared to, what's the base salary at job 2? It is 35,000. Remember, the first thing after the equal sign in an exponential function is your starting amount. So which one is bigger? Job 2, 35,000 is bigger. So it's not A, and it's not C. C says annual base salary of job 1 is higher. That one's false. So we've got it narrowed down. Okay, we've got a 3% increase in job 1. What's the increase in job 2? It's not 1.02. It's 2%. Which one's higher? Job 1 is higher. So that means it's G. Annual base salary of job 2 is higher. Yearly raise is higher at job 1. Good job, guys.